Okay, introductions. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I thought I'd do one today. Last time I did one of these, a lot has changed. In fact, almost everything in my PC has changed. Now, if I'd sat down to build this from scratch, it wouldn't have been like this. It's a series of events that happened that ended up with what I've got in the box. Because pretty much almost everything has changed since the last video. The D14 is still there, but under the D14 is a bulldozer. It's an 8150, which I didn't intend to buy. I didn't want to run bulldozer. Bulldozers are a bit poo. I was going to leave it until pile driver. I was going to stick with my Phenom 2, but things conspired against me. The other thing is, the motherboard, yeah, that's a bit of crap as well. That's an ASRock. It's an FX990 Extreme 3, but I'm not quite sure what makes it extreme. The RAM's changed as well. I've got 16 gig in there now, and the most impressive bit are the graphics cards. That is a pair of XFX 7970s, and they're factory overclocked. And the power supply's changed as well because, well, I needed a bigger power supply to make those run. Not much change in the hard drive situation, except for I've dug out my old Intel 80, which I'm using as a Steam drive. So, what are we doing today? What we're doing today is trying to sort the cooling out, because these two are a non-reference design. They do a lovely job of keeping themselves cool, but they dump so much heat into the case it overwhelms the D14 and causes that to throttle, because when the case is closed there's not enough airflow getting through. Anyway, so I've bought some fans, but that's a bit of a bloomin' palaver as well, because the fans, I originally placed the order with overclockers.co.uk, and they couldn't get them in. Then they sent them, and then Royal Mail lost them. Anyway, a month passed. I then placed the order with Novatech, who, as I, to be honest, is the people I normally use for buying my hardware, and it took them an extra couple of days. So I have just returned from Novatech with a pile of stuff, big bag full of stuff, of odds and sods. Some canned air down there. Need some canned air because basically I've been gaming with the side case off for such a long time. Yep, paperwork. Everything inside is dusty. Talking of dust, that's a aluminium air filter. What else is in the box? Right, these were not the fans I initially intended to get. These are Arctic F12s, high performance. Basically, they're white in the middle, white case. Stock fans are white in the middle, and there's another one, and another one. And my own tells if I'm actually looking what I'm doing, and another one, and oh look, another one, and hang on, it's all falling all over the place. I'm a crap stacker. So we've got a couple of other spots in here. We have connectors with reducers. So this is a hope I'm looking at the right thing. Multi-fan adapter with speed reduction. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be fitting, get rid of that, out the way, bloody thing. We're going to be fitting a heap of fans into this case. We're going to be getting rid of that vile, ugly red thing, and there are more vile, ugly red things, because there's that one, that's going. That's staying, that's white. So that's going. There's going to be two in the roof, one on the floor. That one in there is getting replaced because it's ugly, and the door, which is all the way over here, there's going to be one going into the door as well. So that's the plan for today, fitting this little lot into there. So let's leave it here for a bit. Okay, back. Oh, turn the computer off. But these fan connectors with speed reducers, bit of a swizz, because one Molex, to 4 connectors, but 2 of them are 12 volt and 2 of them are 5 volt. That's not exactly 1 to 4 with speed reducer. That's more like 1 to 4 where half of them are 12, half of them are 5, therefore the 5 volt ones are going to be running slowly. Not quite what I was expecting, but there you go. We live and learn. Here's the fan. They're not terribly pretty, I'll be honest with you, but they were cheap. I don't normally like cheap, but there you go. That's the fan. Big long lead, which is not braided. I still may end up getting nice braided cables, because I'm not going to braid these myself. I'm too cheap and whatever. So anyway, back to putting this little lot in, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but this is why I've got the can of air. Dust bunnies, little. It's only been a month, and there's crap everywhere. It's all disgusting, it's dirty, it's horrid, so it all needs cleaning, and that needs throwing away along with the one that's in there. Anyway, back to work. Right, quick update. The 2 horrid red fans are out. Yes, you finally got to see the back and how horrendous that is. So that's the original white fan there. That's the cheapo one. I did try to get some of these. I tried to get some of these from Bit Phoenix, but no, couldn't get any stock. Had to get these in the end. Desperate, needed fans, had to be white, not LED. So that one's in, and down there, that one's in. So that's the one down by the power supply. Nice power supply. Anyway, so that's one. So still got to put the ones on the roof. Still got to clean the D14. Surprisingly, these 7970s don't appear to suffer too badly from dust build-up, which is quite cool, which I'm pleasantly surprised about. I've had some in the others in the past that, well, it's like felt, a bit like it does on the D14. Look, in there, yeah, nasty. Anyway, 2 in the roof to go, 1 in the door to do. Back in a bit. So, how far have we got? Right, there's now a pair of fans up in the roof. You can barely see them. I really should have got 140s up there, not 120s, but then the whole disaster of trying to order fans resulted in me getting not what I wanted. But there's the bottom one. She's in there. That's the original one in there. Oh yeah, I've dusted her off. She's been taken apart and dusted, so that's clear. I'm going to be putting the filter and the fan on the door now. One of your pictures to follow. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Filter, fan with filter. Can't see the filter in the door. Now, I don't normally put or like fans and doors, but I want air to go down and get to this chipset, because down there, chipset thingy, and down there, chipset thingy, gets bloody hot, because the D14 blows that way, doesn't blow down onto the motherboard, doesn't cool the rest of the components out. So this is going to be blowing down to the motherboard past the graphics cards. Now we have 1, 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 in, but only 1, 2, 3 out. So 4 in, 3 out. We should have overpressure. The advantages of overpressure, for anyone who doesn't know, is by overpressuring the case, the air pressure inside the case is greater than outside, so air will be forced out of little places like this, which don't have dust filters. Look at what you're looking at. And other creepy holes. So if air is going out, air can't be coming in, that means dust can't be coming in. So if you had an under pressure case, basically air would be drawn in through all of these little vents and things, and none of these are dust filtered. So if you overpressure with all of your fans with filters, the idea is the air inside is clean and it forces its way out through all these little gaps around the edges and your seams and drive bays and all these little nooks and crannies, the air is going out, therefore pushing the dust out. So hopefully all the air inside the case should be filtered, which should reduce down the amount of dust build-up, which is good, because dust in my house is nasty, because I've got a couple of cats and a rabbit, and I'm a smoker, and so's the wife, so we end up with not only dust bunnies, but sticky dust bunnies. So, now, where to plug this one in? This is for this one. And I think that's going into the motherboard. I don't normally plug into motherboards, but I'm going to, because that's going to go into the motherboard. Those two are going to go on Molexes, and those two are going to go on Molexes. That's those two down there. Look at what you're talking about, Stephen. Those two are going to go on Molexes. Those two are going to go on Molexes, which happens to equal the number of these little thingies I've got, which is Molex to 3-pin, but the business of half of them being 5 volt and half of them being 12 volt. So this will be full speed, this will be half speed. What I'm going to do is first set them all up on full speed to actually see if the damn thing's cool. It's probably going to be noisy, but that way we'll know, is it cool, is it noisy, can I drop them down to these little 5 volty jobs and have them running at half speed, because I don't think it's actually terribly fast fans. I think these are 1,000 RPM fans, so I think they're 1,000. Oh, better look, hadn't I? Hold on. Find a box, they're in the bin. Find a box. Read the specifications on the box, Stephen, it always helps. Right, here we go. What's that say? That's boring. Oh, it's got a sticker all over it, all over the English bit. It's got a sticker over the English bit. How can I read that? Fan, blah 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 blah, 1,350 RPM. So they're quite fast. Not very fast, not stupid fast. We'll see how quiet they are anyway. I mean, if they're nice and quiet on 12 volt, I'll run on 12 volt. Anyway, time to play with wiring. Time to put wiring in. Woohoo! Talk to you in a bit. Right, quick note. If you own a Fractal Design R3, these clips, when you're putting the back on, they are fragile to the point that if you look at this one here, it's beaten down. I've got to get a pair of pliers to these and like pull that straight, and it's not the first time. Granted, getting the back on this case, I mean, look how mullered that one is. It's all like twisted up and mullered because I've had to bend it round more than once. But yeah, getting these little buggers on, they are fragile. They are very fragile. They get pushed down. So you've really got to play. So I've got to muller that with a pair of pliers now, just to get this back case on. Granted, the reason why the difficulty is the viper's nest of cables that are going in there, but you would think they wouldn't deform quite so quickly and easily. So pliers time on that little bugger. Back in a minute. Right, she's on, and you've got to check these seams all the way along to make sure it's nice and even, because if it's like bulged up, like even like 2 mil, 3 mil, you know you've bent one of the little pin slotty jobby thingies. So that is nice and even, and that is nice and even and well seated. So when you come to fit your thumb screws, nip that up and nip that up. They go in nice and easy. By the way, whenever you're putting the back on, make sure you've left the front off. Where is it? Down there. Because you don't want to be scratching up this nice paint surface by having it on your desk. Anyway, back in a bit. Right, I'm back. Anyone noticed my deliberate mistake gets like 5 points to Gryffindor or something because I put this one on backwards. Plonker. So, where are we? The one in the bottom is in. These two are in. This is in. These are out. These are out. So look what I'm doing. These are out. And the one at the back is out. It would appear that I've got me 12 volt, my 5 volt mixed around, because these are hardly moving at all. Along with that one there, that one, hardly moving. Can't see a damn thing, it's all black and orange in there anyway. So, with these on 50, this and this on 50, the top one on 50, and that one on 50, we're going to have a go at playing BF3. And to see if what happens is what's happened before, which is the CPU throttling, because it gets too warm. Come on, log in. Thank you very much. My games. BF3. I do not want to know about The Sims. The Sims is boring. The Sims is for small girls. Go away. Thank you. Bom, 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 bom. Me. That's me, by the way. Pendragon UK. So what I shall do is server browser. Jump into it. Oh God, look at all these empty servers. Jump into a server. Refresh. Come on, 8 to 10. Refresh. Give me a server with some people on it. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm going to play some. Can't show you any of the gameplay. Can't put adverts in if there's gameplay. So I'll tell you if it throttles at all. See you in a bit. Right, just finished about a 10-minute burst on BF3. Now, everybody who knows an AMD knows temperature readings that you get are bull. You can see that the CPU has been very busy. Core temperature, I don't know if you're going to be able to read this, but that says the highest temperature was 45 degrees, and that's bollocks, basically. The highest CPU tin was 65. I still think that's a little on the generous side, but anyway, I didn't get any slowdowns, I didn't get any halts, I didn't get CPU throttling, because what was happening was that the two graphics cards were dumping their heat into the case. That heat was overwhelming the D14 in the top, and the D14 couldn't work. Well, it looks like the D14 can work. These are on, yeah, I can feel the air coming out of here is warm, but not at any great rate. So I'm going to turn that one down because I think it's a little too fast and it's a little too loud. Because that one is on the motherboard, along with that one on the motherboard. So that one and that one, oh, and that one back there is on the motherboard. So I can afford to turn these down, do some more tests, then see whether or not I can put the speed reducers back onto the D14, so that is running more slowly. But either way, because I used this case because I wanted it to be quiet, and it's not very quiet, but at least now it's cool. So we got over that particular thing. I had a particularly bad game of Battlefield, which is not unusual because I'm not actually very good. I can play it ultra at like 80 frames, 90 frames, 100 frames per second, but anyway, so enough of that frivolity. Today's project is over. Didn't go entirely to plan, but they never do. But we've finally got a system that won't fall over when gaming with a side case on. And that means I can actually have properly filtered air going into the case. So that's a wrap for that, gents. I've now got to upload all this lot, edit it, and do all that kind of strange shit and see how bad it comes out. Talk to you later. Have fun.